Well, people do to you, you dare to cry. Hard enough for one person, oh, it's a matter of time. Hard time is a lesson, yeah, brother, this I had. Sweet, sweet kiss, I will leave out. Not for go alone, mama. Human being can eat it, oh, the deer can eat it. Ah, go to our live. Sweet, sweet is our live. Not for go alone. Human beings can eat it, or a creature eat it too. Sweet, sweet living is sweet, oh, whether rich or poor. Why not pray for long fellow? He can pray for long life. As long as they're living, the fellow will grow. You jacket from me right today, oh, Mary will jacket from you tomorrow, mama. Hey, you take it from Peter today, oh, Paul will take it from you tomorrow. Fine power if oh, it can make you heavy. Looking like a crooked, no, equate to capsize.
1978, 17 March. My mother's name is Esther Kpan. My father's name is Adam Kpan Koung. My father used to work for Kpan, and he was redundant in 1983. I started school in Area C school in Kpan in my county. We had to move to Ganta in 1983 because my father was redundant. In Ganta, when we got there, things were difficult, and so I attended the Bayside Woolstown Rehab School. That school was built for people who suffer from leprosy at the time and other disease. They were built by the rehab to help children that could not afford. And so that is school I attended in Ganta. In 1985, right after the election and the coup, my aunt came, 86, my aunt came and took me to Buchanan, my father's younger sister. And I went to live with her. While in Buchanan, she's a disciplinarian person. And so I never had time to play football and play other things. That's why I don't even understand the football game up to today. What I know how to do best is housework. I can cook very well. Cooking is my passion. The same way other people go to watch football. That's how cooking is to me. In Bassa, I went to the first school I attended was the New Hope School. The New Hope School is around around Bidel, where they got Bidel Funeral Home on Asin Road, the government hospital road. Because there's a church there called New Hope.
Which year was that?
That was 1986. I attended that school. And I spent 1 year in that school and moved to demonstration in Buchanan. I attended demonstration. I was there for a year. And then I moved to WPL Bronski United School. I was there in the second grade in Bronski. I got promoted to the third grade. I was in the third grade in 1990 when the war came. And the war hit Buchanan May 1990. And We ran to Lac for refuge and later came to Buchanan. Like I said, my auntie was a disciplinarian person who wanted me to grow up good and become a good child. But at a certain point as a child, I thought the whipping thing was too much. And so one day my auntie wanted to whip me. I said, "Auntie, you're not beating me today." And I left the house. I left the house. I moved out on my own at age 12. And since then, I've been living on my own from 12 years old to today. I was in Buchanan for a few years doing business. My first business was to start selling fish. That's the way the children sell fish on the road. I used to have fish in my hand selling. I started selling fish because I went to Fontaine Town in Buchanan. And I used to sleep in one guy's canoe. And one day the guy went to fishing in the morning. When I walk around all day, I go to the canoe and sleep. This guy went to fishing in the morning, about 5 o'clock, they're supposed to go. And they saw me in the canoe. And then they grabbed me at the time. And he left me to the house. At that time, the criminal rate and thing wasn't like this, so people were very afraid to see children to take them home. And so he took me to the house and went to fishing. There's a Ghana guy called Kwame. I don't remember his last name. So I was with him for some time. And while there, because of the kind of work I do, cooking, cleaning up, so I took over the house and the key, everything was in my hand. Later, after some time, every time they come from fishing, we go all the canoe. They give me small fish, I sell, I save my money. So I was saving small money until I got some money and decided I can move on my own now. I moved on my own, rented a room in Buchanan by 91. And I was living on my own, buying fish from the crew side, the fishing, because the crew people can fishing with hooks, so they catch a lot of fresh fish. They find people throw net, and sometimes the net, they slip over the sea. So I started selling fish. The guys on the road, when you come in from town, all the young guys selling fish, crab. And blessedly for me, I went to the Loop one time to sell and met, I think the late Nelson Taylor, Batu Taylor, and the whole crew. Tom you and all of them, they were at, I think, Batu was nursing house in the Loop. They saw me as a young child selling big fish on my head. They sent for me, said they wanted the fish. So they tried to inquire who I was. I told them, look, I called my name and said, they asked me who you living with. I said, I came to live with my auntie, but I left the house, I'm on my own now. And they said to me, where is your parents? I said, my mother is in Nimba, my father in Nimba, and I don't know where they are now since the war. So they told me anytime I get fish, I should bring it there.
So you became that supplier?
I became a supplier. That was an opportunity. I thought to exploit that opportunity. So every time I make my first trip, my second trip, I make it to the Loop. And things started moving well for me. And later I flipped to buying oil, coconut oil from a place called Boakai. Now it should be now in Riverses. It's called Boakai. It's a long walking distance. But when you get to that place, the coconut, so many there on the beach. Dry fish. Start buying palm bay oil. Bringing it on the Pumatin. We used to call it train at the time. Pumatin 91, 92. We're on the train coming to Nimba, Yekepa to sell and go back. At the end of 92, I thought to find my parents. My last trip from Buchanan, I came to Nimba. At the time the Autopause war was already starting. And so I moved to Yekepa. My father was a popular person in Yekepa. So I called his name. I called my name, called my father's name. My father was a wash and radio repairer in Yekepa. Almost everybody in Yekepa know him. Almost everybody in Nimba know him. Kpan Koung. And so I met him and called my name to him. And we got reunited again. I was there for some time. He was stopping with one of his brother, who is Charles Doe. I think they stay around today. And so I moved. He took me to where he was stopping. I moved in, and my uncle wife, his brother wife, who is my uncle wife, was not too happy because he's stopping with them, then he's bringing his child, and so maybe he will start bringing all his children in their house. She has some issue.
How come before you move into the other one, that you mean that your father is from the southeast? It's to my understanding, right?
Yeah, my father
Like, and
came
your mother
from. My father came from Sino in the 60s.
Okay.
In such a job. He told me his first working place was the Mano River. I think there was a mining company there. From there, he went to bomb mines. He was a nuclear operator. Nuclear is this big machine that do the mining. And so from bomb mines, he left for Yekepa, the late 60s, I think 69, where he got a job. He met my mom in 1974 and got married to my mother. And I was born 1978. And so that's just a gist of my father.
So all throughout, when you left and met with your father, were you in school at the time, or what did you
No,
do?
I wasn't in school at the time.
Okay.
All that time,
You like hustling?
I was hustling, trying to take care of myself, find food and things, when I left the house first, I used to be at the NASA supermarket on Tottenham Street in Buchanan, where when the people bring a truck, we offload it. Sometimes they give you 25 cents at a time. So it was big money at the time, 50 cents. And so in Yekepa, when I went with my father home, my uncle Charles Doe's wife had some issues. But the next day, when I got up, cleaning the kitchen, washing dishes and things, they used to fix the blue soap. The soap used to be in a bar, a long bar. You can buy the custard, the palm oil, burn it, mix it, put blue in it. Those soaps, and that particular soap is not around today. Those are the market they used to do. And so my first 3 days in the house, she started liking me because I used to cook, I used to clean up, I used to do housework. And I started selling soap, going to sell at certain point, going to Kpan Koung and other places selling. So she asked my father for me to stay with her. And so I was there selling soap, cooking. In fact, one is 12 in Yekepa at the time. It was Limco at the time. When people coming from work, by 12 o'clock, everybody got to rush home for lunch. And so my friends used to call me Mary. So I had a friend who was a Bassa guy. He myself used to speak Bassa. So as soon as 12, a group of them would come together, stand behind the house and say, Mary, oh, then I say, yo, then the food ready. They come and we all eat together. But at the 3, the Duruba war started, I decided to find my mother. So I came to Ganta, told my father's brother's wife, my uncle's wife, that I was moving to Ganta to find my mother. We live in the toy yard. That's there where our house is. So I went to the yard. When I got to the house, we were in the bush. Since 1990, nobody there. There were some neighbors by the house. So I asked whether they knew the woman who owned the house and where she was. They told me she went to Guinea in a place called Bala. And they directed me. So I went to the border, crossed the border, went into Guinea, and went to the refugee camp. Saw my mother. She didn't know me again. I didn't know her again. But I was traveling with her name. And so we got reunited. And I spent some time with her. And I was there up to 1995. While there, we used to come across the border to buy Kenju to go sell. 1996, I left Uganda to Monrovia to come and see my uncle, my father's brother, one Gerald Weir. He teaches at Zion. That's my father's younger brother. And so when I came to him, I came for help to see whether he would give me some money to start doing something. I was here, I came around February, and I was here March, April. On the 5th of April, I remember that day, I told him I wanted to go because I owed Steve. And I think he gave me one tip and pay my way, a full battery tip. So I took that tip, pay my way, and I left. Because he never had money to. He used to live directly opposite the ministerial complex today around Winter Chapel. There's a yard right there where they got car parks selling there. He used to live in a house. And so I went back. When I got in Uganda, the next day was April 6th. And the April 6th war went on. So I already here. I just left, and the next day was a war. I took that tip to the place called Dingama in around the Ganta area and sold it for 3 gallons of kinju. That was started business again after almost everything has gone. And so the Guinea pellet women used to come from Guinea. On the borderland, they used to come by kinju. They used to take it by trucks load. But they can't come in time because the tailor troop were all in Uganda at the time. They can take people money from you. So we were living there. We were friends and brothers all in the army, in the tailor group at the time. We were a be protected because you touch us, we inform our big brothers and other people we know. So they used to, and when I gave that 3 battery tip for 3 gallons, in Guinea, the people said the liquor from Liberia too strong, so sometimes you have to put water in it. So I bought 3 gallons, I put 1 gallon water in it, and took it to the borderland, and sold a 4 gallon, came back, bought another one. So I made about 3 trips that day. There's a young guy called Doc Claude Messiaen used to rent bicycle at the time. There's no motorbike, no car. So we used to pay the bicycle. It's $15 per hour. So I would rent it, run, buy, and come wholesale. And in 2 days' time, I started having enough liquor. My late brother Kpan Koung is in Uganda today. He's doing business. He has a building material store there. He joined me and both of us started moving to the border back and forth. And the women started trusting me, giving me their money. So at a certain point now, I will come and buy all of their goods, buy mine, and give them mine to go sell to, so I get more money. And then when they come, I go. So I'm friendly with a group of Guinea pellet with me. Some of them in town today, they can bring grumpy and things from Guinea, and they still selling. Some of them got businesses in town today. And so later, I flipped to selling tablet in the bucket.
Going around with tablets.
Going around with tablet in the bucket. So we bought a pin tablet and other things. Go to Bam Market. On Sunday, we leave Ganta to Bam Market. We sell in Bam on Monday. We leave Bam Monday, sleep in Secretary and sell Secretary on Tuesday. Leave Secretary Tuesday, go to Tapatan. Sell in Tapatan on Wednesday. Leave Tapatan Wednesday, come back to Ganta and go to Zowintown, I think on Thursday, and then come from Zowintown, go to, I think, Flumpa Market, or so there was another market. So all week, it was just market ground for market ground. You go to Ganta today, most of the people, and myself in the market, are all BP business people today. They run their own store. Ferry Depa, Fatu, Kezi, Kosibo, all the business guys in Ganta. We all strive together, growing up, coming up. So business. Being focused. So I started opening a pharmacy.
Okay.
At the time, Ganta Methodist Hospital, there were no drugs. They sent George Morba a certain time to open, no, I think it was Fons Wagley or someone, somebody went there, opened the hospital, they were the administrator, later Harry went in there. So I opened a pharmacy, I had drugs right near the hospital. So everybody was coming to our house to buy, things started improving. If you buy a cup of paracetamol for in Guinea for something like $2 and you brought it to Liberia, you're making something like uh, $25, $30 US in it. So it was
the discussion is getting quite interesting. We want to know about your family life. Are you married? You have
yes,
children?
yes, I
How
got
many
children.
are?
I got 11 biological children,
What?
and I got other people's children that lives with me. So in my house here, I got over 20 children here. 20 children here. Some are biological, some people children.
Adapted?
They adopted, other people children live with me. Yeah. So I got 11 children. I got 4 girls and 7 boys. Some of them in college. I got 4 of them in the States. And one of my sons played DV. Gerald, he went to the States. My second child is a girl. She came down with epilepsy when she was 8 months old. And in Liberia, normally people would tell me I wish and other stuff. In America, there's a whole epilepsy foundation that take care of these people. And so because of that, we have to move her to the States. And so she lived in the States. She went with her younger sister. They both of them lived there. Her younger sister working, so they're renting a 2-bedroom apartment where they live. And so, yes, that's my family life. So by 2003, after the Ganta fall, the war that was fiercely fought in Ganta, it destroyed Ganta completely. When Lear entered Ganta and the tailor through repair, everything in Ganta almost got burned down. I was one of the first person that came to Ganta and started cleaning up. I had my store there and other things. Working, I met Floyd because when I walked in, we ran to Santa Cruz. I met Floyd Thomas, and so we started working together. We became very close. He used to send me to sell diamonds for him and things. So I started picking up, and as soon as the war subsided, Lear was in Daila, Sokopa in Nima. They were Lear stopped, and I started bringing cement and things from Guinea. That was the only place we had access to cross the border. Selling, building a house. I had 2 houses prior to the war. I built one, and then I was building the other one. I was living in one, building the other one, the war came.
Which war? 2003 war, right?
2003 war.
Yeah.
So I was living in one 3-bedroom house, and I was building a 4-bedroom house when the 2003 war hit Ganta. And so we ran away. When I came back, after Ganta was cleared, I started building a 9-bedroom house, long apartment, 3 room each. And Omil has just entered Liberia, so they've tried to find a place in Ganta. There's a friend of mine called JP Mystery. He's a Danish native. It's a corner in the Danish native. So he was here. And so he went to Ganta to search for a place where the military observers and the police at the time, the UNPO,
We're talking about 2003.
2003, where they could base and where Omil was supposed to have their office. So when he came to Ganta and driving around, went to the Ganta mission, almost everything was destroyed. While driving down, he saw my place where on his life. It's directly opposite the Ganta mission. He wanted to know the owner, so they gave him a name, and he said, when I come, I should follow up. So when I came, the people working told me, I went to Sokopa, to Lesson Passe, Lewa in Banga, and the tailor troop was in Ganta. So you need a Lesson Passe to go to Banga. So I took a Lesson Passe, I went Banga, I went Cottington campus, where I met him. And he said, you own the property? I said, yes. He said, no, it's not possible. I mean, every young person I saw in this country, they were fighting war or something. How you manage? How can a young man like you own such property? And I said it was mine. He said to me, if it's true, I can prove that it's for me. They were going to take it.
And I guess you when you were 20.
I was 2003. I was
Yeah, when you're 20.
yeah, because I came to the legislature at 33 to 2011. At 33, I came to the legislature. 2011 when I won, I was 33 years old when I became a representative. I was one of the youngest in the house. And so the guy saw the place and he, when we talked, he said, if you can show me the deed and prove that this place is yours, we'll take it. I went to Uganda. I brought a deed, presented it to him. He called on the headquarters. They took the place, and there were all the military observers and the UMPO, the military police. The police was in Nimba. They used to leave from there and go. They were there up to 2014 before they left. They were paying me 10,000 US every month from 2003 to 2014. They were a hit. Every money I made from there, I was reinvesting it. So I started bringing used car and things from Europe and other places. And later I started bringing trucks. And I started going to America, bringing used cars from America, the SUV. I was one of the first person that brought Sequoia in Monrovia. I was also one of the first person that brought the Infiniti FX 35. So I used to bring cars and sell. In fact, to the extent that when we entered the legislature, most lawmakers used to take cars from me. There's a particular car built to our route today that he bought from me, 2012, a Toyota Jeep. The last time I saw Bill, I said, "Hello, you still riding this car?" And he said, "Yeah, he still got it today." So that house started growing, and then I started bringing tankers. I had the biggest petroleum transport company in this country. You can ask Bibo Saki. Bibo Saki used to be a very big petroleum transporter. Octavius Kpan. You go to LPRC today, almost all the guys there know me. People who are doing tanker business there were there bringing tankers and transporting for Total, transporting for SP. I was supplying almost 75 to 80-90% of the product in Nima. I used to take product here, credit it, take it to Nima, credit the young guys. They are interested in the transportation, not much of the profit on the product because I needed my trucks to move. So I grew up big in business. I'm running 2-3 coaster. I was running 2-3 pharmacy, building material store, general merchandise, real estate, and a lot of businesses I started running. So I was doing extremely well. Education. I went to Bala Refugee School when I was there for a short time. When I was there up to the 6th grade and got promoted to the 6th grade. When I was in the 6th grade, I moved to Ganda. My first school I attended in Ganda was the Messiah Christian Academy. I was there in the 6th grade and got promoted to the 7th grade, where I moved to Yene High School, and I left in Yene. I graduated 2000-2001 class. When I graduated 2001, I could not go to school because I'm a first of 7 children. And my pa and ma sent me to school to K2. And my aunt took me to 3rd grade. And I had to live on my own. It means my parents and guardians who were forced to send me to school up to 3rd grade. From 3rd grade to today, it was myself. And so I needed to be, as I went out of town, go to school someday, 5 times, and turning around in between. I really wanted to go to medical school in Uganda. But I could not go there because medical rule was so tough. If you miss class one day, you're off. And I needed to go south to take care of myself, take care of my mom and other people. And so only in the school who accept me. So I was in and out. When I graduated, I decided to continue with business. And 6 years later, after I graduated, 2000, 2001 class, 2006, second semester, I decided to go to school again. So I went to Cuttington.
What motivated you?
Because I knew education was a way out, regardless of what you do, regardless of how much money you make. I was a big boy, I'm making up to 30,000, 40,000 US every month. So I was doing well. In fact, on Cuttington, the reason why most people from Cuttington would call me J. Koung is because 2006, the Forerunner you see today was it was the newest car in town, 2005, 2006 model. So I bought one, and I had a brand new Forerunner. My name on it was J. Koung. So almost all the students from Cuttington, everybody called me J. Koung, J. Koung. It was because of that lesson plate on my car. So I was on campus, I people, I own cars and all the things. But I went through it, went to school. My last 2 semesters I was on the dump. I was on the same dump, in the same room with Kuku Young, where I tell you with, I think Antonio, or counselor at law today. So I became president of the senior class on Cuttington. During my year as president of the senior class, I built the clinic on Cuttington today. And one Kpan Koung was my vice president. Under my leadership, Kpan Koung and myself. She was my vice president. That was 2009, 2010 class. The class of 2009, 2010.
Now,
And so we built that place today. It's a clinic on Cuttington. It's called the Agape Clinic, if I'm not mistaken. They haven't changed the name. So you go on Cuttington today, that's the clinic the students there use. And when I graduated, my friends asked me to get in politics. All my life, I didn't want to go to national politics. So I was in student politics from high school. In high school, we have one, a nickname is Valley. Valley is from Bombing. He got a house in Bombing today. He told me the last time, when you enter in Bombing, there's a green story building at our house. He was president, I was foreign minister of the government. And so I was in student politics in high school, president Cuttington. And right from school, I ran after friends encouraged me, got involved, and I won the election 2011. I subsequently won 2017, and later 2020 senator, and we are here today. If I'm preferred that Your Excellency Joseph Kpan Boakai, I will be grateful. If even I'm not preferred, I will still work with him. The work of a VP is prescribed in our constitution, is clear. Your work is to assist the president. And so I will be there to do my work according to what the law says. You take assignment based on the president's instruction. That's the work of a vice president. So yes, we come with a wealth of experience from the private sector. I grew up in the private sector from nowhere to one of Liberian business person. I've been in politics now for 12 years now. I served in the House of Representatives for 9 years and 3 years in the Senate. And so we come with a wealth of experience that we can help. I understand what it means to be a taxi driver because I was one. I understand what it means to be selling gas on the road in the night. You have to sleep overnight and sleep in the night. You wake up and you are all night and sleep in the day. I know what it means. I understand what it means to be on a truck to go in the market from place to place. I understand it. I understand what it means to be a Wheeler market boy. I know it. I know what it means when you go to Gorbachev fee and you sell it Kinjo by gallon. I understand it. I know what it means when you went to Campley and other places to buy pepper and can sell in the market. There's no Liberian business I haven't been involved with. I know what it means to go credit from credit union at 15, 20, 25% interest when our market, when the profit on the market is less than 4, 5%. I know what it means, the reason why Liberian businesses are not growing. I understand it. So I come with a wealth of experience in the private sector. And that is government. So I think I'm ready. There are a lot of people who don't know me, so they speculate about me. And I like to be discovered. I'm not this guy who will be on the radio talking every. I'm a go-getter. I'm a result-oriented person. And so I like for the result to speak for me. That's why a lot of people don't know me. Unless you follow up and check on me to know who is this guy, what is he doing, what is he involved with, then you'll get to know me better. I had a focus. Every day I had a cane over my head walking on the bicycle and belly and sweating. When the bus passed by me, I wonder when I would own a bus. When I owned a bus, I started worrying when I would own a truck. When I owned a truck, I started worrying when I would own a business and be one of the renowned persons in Liberia. I reached that level. I went to politics. If somebody told you before that, maybe if it was a prophecy or somebody told you, look, this child would be somebody, nobody would believe you. But again, God worked in his own way. The story in the Bible that talks about, I think the house of Joshua also, not Joshua, the house they went to bless the children, anoint the children. And when the prophet went to the house, the men taught the bigger children when they want to be king. And so they tried all of them. And God said, none of them, but they were one in the field as a shepherd boy. And the prophet asked, are these all your children? And he said, yes, but there's just one, but I want a managed sheep. And the prophet said, you're going. And as you come in, nobody should sit down till you hear around. I think that story was written for me. Because to be at this level in the Liberian politics, I mean, I had a big vision when I would get there. I didn't know. But at this early age of mine, I mean, I'm not too young though, but for Africa, people think we are very young. I'm 45. To be here, it got to be God, and I'm extremely grateful to God. I got 4 of my kids in the States. I got 7 of them here. And so that is to the extent that I know that you have to work with America. And Liberia is we see America as that country that shields us. America has done so much in this country. And so, yes, I think the Excellency Boakai, if again I will be named, he knows what America brings to the table. And so we are all inclined. I've been to America too many times. I started going to America earlier 2007 to start buying used cars and things. I normally go there for business. I remember the last time I went for visa, I was a lawmaker. And when I put my finger, the guy asked me whether I was still bringing used cars. And, so it was my visa. I entered the States, and the immigration guy was questioning me, are you here to buy used car this time around? I said, no, I'm not in used car dealing again. I'm a member of parliament now. So we know what it means to work. No government survive, you can work with America. There's a historicity of it. You have to work to America. There's no way. work with America. There's no way out. Work with America and work with other countries in the world to see how you can move your country. Though not working with countries that are into bad dealings and don't respect human rights and other things. You don't want to get close tie with them. But you have to work with other countries while looking up to America and working with America. One of my worst moments was by 1999. I went to a credit union in Ghana. I wouldn't call anybody name now because it's gone now and we're all moving and we all reconciled. And I credited some money from the credit union. When you credit the money, they give you 3 months to pay and they subtract 25% interest on upfront and give you the balance. They give you 3 months to pay. So I took that money and I went to Togo and bought a Jeep Isuzu Triple. I brought a Jeep and I didn't come earlier. And when the Jeep came, I used to run traffic from Loguatou to Monrovia. Loguatou is the border with Cote d'Ivoire in Limba. I used to run there. I had one of my drivers to the parking station, Kanta parking. I don't know. They call him Humbo. I don't know whether he's still there today. Humbo. So I had a lot of drivers there. Most of the guys there are my friends. And so I could not pay the money on time because things were a little difficult. And so it took interest all the 3 months passed. So the first portion will take 25% interest. If you don't pay, the next month, they will add a total on this next month and interest all two by 25%. If you don't pay, they add it both on the last one and interest it by 25%. If you don't pay, they continue interesting the total. And so at the time there was no bank and stay in Ghana. And so things went bad. I could not pay them, they threatened me all the time. Blessed for me, the finance people were going to sign out to collect revenue. At the time they used to go physically collect revenue and bring it. And so they saw my Jeep and they chartered me from the parking station, red line, Ganta parking, Nima parking. Took me to sign out, gave me fuel, and thought to give me $1,500 for the trip for 10 days. And we went, they would fuel me and everything. We went in Greenville, that was my first time in Greenville. When they tour, they collect taxes from logging company and other things. And we're coming home for them to give me my first $750 a van. And while Benny, there's a camp in Greenville, I don't know the place name, but they were white houses. It's like a camp estate like. And while Benny, the whole arm, the front arm of my Jeep broke. And at the time you can't find mechanic to places. In fact, we used to say when you're running to the southeast, when you break down the road, the monkey can be asking you, brought mechanic? You brought mechanic? Those were phones we used to have at the parking station. And so the guy said they could not pay me. They only gave me something to transfer myself. And give me fuel in case I face my car to go back. At this time, the credit union people, my mother stood for me. So they went to the house. The house was zinc to the window, no window. So just zinc to the window. And the baboon door, you just pull it to the door and close the door. The mattress is sleeping on. You see a flat like a roll. The children pee all in it. And so the guys went there. The guys are staying in Ghana. For some reason, I cannot call their name. But there's an open story in Ghana, everybody knows. And They raided the house, took everything from the house, including my mother's clothes, and took it to the hall and dumped it in the hall. My mother went there crying to see whether she could beg them. And they said to her, we didn't ask you to born a useless child. And so my mother were all in the street crying, no food for any children, and nowhere to sleep. The people locked the house and said they would sell the house. At the time, no phone, there was base radio. So I think the Sawyer people had that radio. So my mom went to somewhere where I think one of the generals, I think it was General Zach or so, one of the generals, and called to Sano, called the radio station. There was a base radio. Called the base radio that she was looking for a son. One Jeremiah Koung, he has gone to Sano in for traffic, and so she wanted to speak to him. So they described the car, and at the time you can't see car much. So the guy said, yeah, there's a blue Jeep in town. We just go trying to eat, and the guys called me, that your mom wanted to speak to you. I went to the radio station, and my mom burst out with cry, in Kyo. She called me Ome. Oh, Ome Banzo, Ome, you kill me. You disgrace me. The people put me outside, nowhere to sleep by the children. I broke down. I managed to come on river, fix the car, got mechanic, went back, fixed the car, took the car back to Monrovia, took the car to Gompa, to the Bullock. There was a friend of mine who I used to buy the drugs from, the medicine and drugs. When I say drugs, I mean medication, tablet and things. So I had to call him, and he bought the Jeep for me, gave me some money to pay the credit union and the free my mother. That was the biggest and one of the worst things that ever happened to me in my life. I didn't pay back. 10 years later, we have a credit union where I was the credit department chairperson. A very big credit union, no bank by then. People from Bon County, you ask Edward Boo, the late Fat Ball, Moses Manston. These are business people in Bangania calling. They used to come there, credit. We used to raise up to 100, some more million, like Brenda does every month, gave them out 50 million. And I was in charge.
Wow, right.
This same person, brother, credited, and they could not pay. 10 years down the line, same month, disbursement. And he stood for his brother. So they could not pay. I was supposed to raid them too. And then they came to me begging. And I reminded them 10 years ago, I was begging you the same way, and you didn't listen. But I wouldn't pay back. Go. I'll give you the whole next year to pay. And so those were some of the worst moments. Some of them were when I was tired. I slept in rope the day, beating me, kicking my head everywhere. So I went through a lot, and that's why when I see people on the street, I don't pass. Because situational factors make decent people to do indecent things. And so most time when you see people going through struggle and through other things and behaving some way, most time it's not themselves. Sometimes it goes to ask questions. But all those things help me. And that's why even when I was representative, when I got rid of the trucks certain time, I had a gas station running, minimat and everything. I leased it to SP for $300,000 for 20 years. And when I won the election, and they paid me, I had the back of the gas station where I leased to George Abijadi, where he paid me another 300,000 for 20 years. And they got a coastery there. I was a retail person for the coastery. And so I collected all this money at the hotel in Ghana today called Jackie Hotel. I had it, I built it. Those floors I developed it to some extent now. Floor was a brother. I could not run hotel again when I won the election. I asked the county health team to see whether they could run it as a clinic. That the wizard and the county health team there. He said it wasn't built in the clinic form. So he called it Esther and Geraldine Medical Center. And when I built it in 2016, I completed it. I invested.
Which part of Nema that hospital is?
It's in Ghana. It's the only government hospital in Ghana today. The only big government health center in Ghana. All the other ones are smaller clinics. They feel into it. And I asked the government to take over by 2016. And they said there was no money. Madam Salif then went to the hospital. A lot of people went there at the time were in search of help because I could not run the hospital. I turned it over to the government finally. The government runs it today. It's in the government. Since 2018, the government took over. And so it's now a government hospital.
So what's the human side of Senator Jeremiah Koung? The human side. You love sport?
I'm not a football guy.
That's a lot of dogs in your yard.
Yeah, I love pet. Trust me, most time on my farm, just Saturday we went to Kanta to raise my madam and myself. And one was a friend, and she wanted to kill one of the goat. And I said to her, let's buy goat meat. Oh, why you want to buy goat meat? Because sometimes the animals around and they pray and somebody says, yeah, kill it. It make me say, assuming it was me. So if goat, chicken and thing around, you gotta kill it before you bring it to me. If you kill it before me, I wouldn't eat. I got 11 children because I don't pay for abortion. When a woman gets pregnant for me, I mean, that's it. I believe, biblically, my mind think that to pay for abortion is to pay for somebody's life, getting rid of somebody's life. So that's why I got a lot of children today. I don't regret it because God gave me food for all of them. God wouldn't give you a low you wouldn't bear. And so at every level God takes you, He will protect you there. And when God gave you, you got to be a blessing. And I think my hands are open. I gave a lot. Giving to me is a form of fasting. When you give to people, you deprive yourself of something.